We know for a fact that she's dying, which is like, you know, at the end of this turn. Unless obviously they cut a way of killing Kindred, which admittedly so they could go for a single combat, in which case we just freeze this. That's her dead. That's fine. That's misfortune down. One misfortune down. Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel. Again, another deck for you today. This one is actually one which was based off of a viewer suggestion that was actually in the Discord. Let's get into this. So today's video, as I said, is actually based off of a concept that came up with in the Discord by Spoozy or Spussy. I do apologise if I've got the name like pronunciation wrong, but honestly, it's a really good concept of basically using Kindred with Frostbite mechanics. So that it's called Frostmarked. And the idea here is that obviously we want to be using Kindred's ability of targeting the weakest unit for marking, but we want to decide what that weakest unit is by frostbiting things. This technique has actually been used previously in the past by there was the Noxian landmark is all about striking the strongest of your guys strikes the weakest of their guys. You can force out what the weakest was, and this is like a similar thing by making things weak with Ashe and Frostbite, and then Kindred killing them. So it's not exactly Spussy's deck. I did like have some creative license and like decided to do like a few different things that I wanted to have in the deck, but it definitely is a very interesting concept. Honestly, well done to them. But bear in mind, anyone who posts deck things and like in the Discord or posts them on here, I do look at them as much as I can, and if there is definitely concepts and ideas that I want to explore around with, I will definitely do it, but I will always credit you. That's always the important thing. So it's not exactly their deck, but it is their concept. I just want to say big shout out to Spoozy or Spussy or Spussy. I cannot remember how you say your name, but honestly, thank you so much for this. So as you can see, we've got a lot of the Frostbite stuff, but we want to be making sure that we've got, so anyone who's ever run like spooky Ashe knows that bringing Ashe back can be really powerful, because multiple Ashes on the board means that you're frostbiting and stopping them from being able to defend in multiple places, but also the ability of maybe bringing out like, you know, additional Kindreds depending on what's going on, so that the more things that you're targeting and whatnot is going to be working for you. So we do have a few little activators for Kindred working off of like this mechanic, which is going to be killing to draw, and you kind of want to be targeting Cursed Keeper, or you want to be targeting either the Spider or the Hapless Aristocrat. You can actually also target the Ice Rail Archer, because after Ice Rail Archer has done his thing of frostbiting, like, if 3 damage is good, and obviously you want to try to get that in, but you can also get in a little bit of draw, and that would be quite good. As well as that, instead of Kindred's on the board, it's just helping. And all those things that are being frostbited, you also have this, which is going to be challenging them, potentially killing them, and if it does kill them, yet again, that's just another marker for helping, which could, like, you know, Kindred then mark somebody and whatnot. So there's a lot of different things going on in this deck, which I think are really fun and interesting. We will go through them. There is definitely, like I would say, like when we go through games, I haven't actually played this deck yet, so the games you're going to be seeing will be just me testing this deck out. The one thing that I did want to include, I did actually want to include the new spell, which was the Three Sisters. I did actually want to include it because I wanted to have additional freezes, but also I wanted the ability of Fury of the North, because like obviously if your opponent does something to stop this from being able to trade, but I couldn't decide what I wanted to cut to put it in honesty, because I do want draw. I do want draw potentially, so potentially you could get rid of a Glimpse, and you could get rid of maybe a Sentry, and then from that getting a couple of copies of this. But it is relatively open, and as I said, the deck which like Spussy made, or Spoozy, I do apologise, I'm saying this name probably terribly wrong every single time, so I do apologise if you're watching. There is definitely like other ways of building this deck, but this is the way that I've decided to build it. So please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, as well as the fact that obviously shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter and Instagram. If you didn't know already, I do stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live, please feel free to, as well as the fact there is a Discord link down below, which I said you can post your decks there. I do look at them. I don't always comment on every single one of them, but I do actually always look at your ideas, that be in there or in the comments down below. But as well as in the Discord, if you join that, there is a monthly games night and movie night. So with all these things, why not get involved? Like, the lovely community that we're building in there is fantastic. I'm loving the creativity that's coming out, so thank you all so much. As well as that, thank you for watching, subscribing and everything. Like, literally, you guys, the support that I get on this channel, thank you so much. It's unbelievable. All the birthday messages I got. Honestly, thank you. It was like, it made my day. It made my birthday even more special. I mean, I'm already an old man. I'm 30 years old, and this just made that, like, that just made that day even more special, reading all your messages and whatnot. So honestly, thank you again. I do have my end of year goal of getting 5,000 followers / subscribers on Twitch and YouTube, and honestly, I feel we could smash those goals, and the community that's being built here is magnificent. So honestly, thank you all so much. Anyway, let's get in and see how this deck does in a couple of matchups. I've got no idea what the hell this is. Obviously, it's like a combination between scouts and elites. It's interesting. I don't know what you are, but it confuses me. If nothing else, it confuses me. I mean, I definitely want to be keeping... Oh, in fact, I've got this. You might end up doing a lot of lovely trades for me. We'll see how it goes. We've still got a... we said brittle. We've got a brittle, and we can play the sentry next turn for a little bit of draw. So either way, that's fine. I'm willing to accept, mostly because I have to. Okay, so what we can do here is next turn we can play the wolf going into brittle still. Now, obviously, depending on what they throw down, they could throw down something quite legit. I mean, part of me's honestly considering just leaving it back. This might sound stupid, but I'm actually considering leaving the wolf back because I don't know 100% what they've got.
I'm one of the good guys.
Okay, right, so they were just going to play Misfortune. Fair enough, then. I should have just gone for it. I thought there was going to be a sharp sight, and that's what... I mean, technically, there could have still been a sharp sight. Okay, so they're going to go like this, so we go, nope, nope, nope. They really want to try and protect us. I was like, nope, 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 nope. We'll accept the trade-off that would have happened. I'll accept the trade that would have happened. Obviously, it means that I need to be dealing with this Misfortune, but right now, that's okay. So I could just put the sentry in the way of this, or I could actually just throw you in front of this with brittle steel. Obviously, it depends on what they've got, because if they've got a buff that gets her past 3 health, then obviously brittle steel becomes brittle steel becomes less
Look out for
potent. I don't mind doing this for draw purposes, so I could have thrown you in front. I could have done it. I chose not to, and I will accept those decisions.
Still see far.
Okay, so next turn we want to be trying to throw Kindred out, because then we can do a brittle steel move onto that. Oh, we could throw Ashe out. We throw Kindred out. We throw Kindred out because Kindred makes more sense here. We want to start that. We want to get like that started.
They appeared.
So
out of nowhere.
We'll go with. I want to see whether or not they'll accept the trade first. Or do it, because I mean, they're going to use, what's his face then? I'll leave it. I want to see what they're going to do. Whether or not they will accept this trade or whether or not they're, because if they're going to buff, they would have buffed past it anyway. Ah! Fair play. Because obviously that now, actually, I mean, there it is. So that's, I mean, if they were going to do that, they were going to buff, and it would have gone past what that would have been anyway, if you understand what I mean. So that's why I don't necessarily mind that. Because, I mean, technically what they should have done, they should have silenced the guy who's going to give me draw. If anything, he's the more crucial man, because that trade-off would have happened either way, if you get my meaning. I mean, I guess they were trying to cover it just in case I froze. So, okay, we've got a freeze here. I'm willing to wait. So they're going for trying to kill Kindred, so we go, whoop, whoop. So that should mean, obviously, depends on what they've got, but potentially this could be that dying and then immediately Misfortune being marked. That's why so Misfortune is actually marked. We know for a fact that she's dying, which is like at the end of this turn, unless obviously they can cut a way of killing Kindred, which admittedly so they could go for a single combat, in which case we just freeze this. That's her dead. That's fine. That's Misfortune down. 1 Misfortune down. So we can throw Ashe out.
Faster than my
We've still got a Frostbite, and we've got multiple Frostbites. We could have also used this to kill this, but I want a bigger target. There we go. Fortune favors the boot. So we go. We've got another freeze if they decide to go into this. So Misfortune is dying again. Oh, they know! They know what's coming for them. Before that happens, they stop it. Honestly, that worked out very well. Okay, so we are against the Trundle Lissandra deck. With Shadow Owls, which is like a devastating version. Okay, the one with Shadow Owls is actually like the devastating version of this. So, gonna keep this because we've got Glimpse and we've got well, 2 Curse Keepers now. I was okay with the 1, but I'll take the 2. So we can work off of this just to at least like get, draw. And we've got the ability to be like basically like freezing down the Trundle, which is okay. So Ashe in hand as well. We have a ton of removal. It's okay, we can wait. Throw that down.
Nothing escapes my watch.
See what they do. The thing of it is if they've got the shit, if they have Ice Shot, I'd rather have the draw. I'd rather like see what they've got because they could have like the crystal thing. Yeah, I was saying I'd rather wait until they do that and then do this because if they had Ice Shard and just remove, like we'd still get 1 draw, but I'd rather get all the draw. So I know I could have done an additional like 3 points of damage, but I'd rather know that I'm getting that. Kindred is here. Blighty Caretaker, so gonna throw you down. Technically, I guess I could have, which I could have. Blighty Caretaker, Blighted Ravine. So we immediately go forward. And then if they play Trundle, we play Kindred into Glimpse. Seems like a smart move. Let's see how they operate. Ooh, the box! That's okay. Still do 4 damage. See whether or not they play someone. So the kindly Cavern team keep kindly Cavern team. Damn it! Why can't I say names right? I'm willing to accept this because I know that their deck runs so much removal in terms of. I mean, to be fair, they run so much removal in terms of that they're most likely going to kill Kindred. But if I can level Kindred before they die, I've got Rekindler and I know that I've got a Harrowing, so I just want to level them beforehand. But obviously, Vengeance and whatnot, they've got a ton of removal, so expect to see it. So the chances of removal have decreased. So I figured to myself, what do I want to do here? I'm willing to accept throwing you down.
Me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Just because, so we could throw Kindred in front of this, but I'm just going to accept it as it is. I'm going to accept it as it is. We can take 3 damage at this stage. I regret taking the 3 damage. Okay. So if only we could, so if we would have done that trade. I mean, I guess they would have just done that there and then, so we just would have stopped ourselves from taking 3 damage. That's all that would have happened there. We kind of want to keep this option open. So we'll play you. Because they are up to 8 mana now. Which obviously I said in that deck can be very tricky and annoying to deal with. Okay. Willing to accept this. So they're gonna go there. See, it's a very we're playing a very careful game. We should kind of have to play a very careful game with what we're up against. So
Tall as a mountain and covered in ice.
they've still got a Vengeance move option, but we've got a few more options that we can do.
Unite the Frail Lord.
You
That's
gotta
fine.
believe me. Oh,
They're on this. We wait.
Out there.
We are potentially leaving ourselves open to some box shenanigans.
No backing down.
Be still.
I'm willing to do this. So, see what we get. Withering Whale. That's fine, because we can actually at least get ourselves round Withering Whale. It's fine. We can work from this now. And they haven't actually got that many cards now. So, because I know it's a really controlling matchup that they're working with here. But if they don't have the resources, they don't get what they want, we can start to steamroll with them from this point. That's why I was playing a very delicate game until this point. Now we go. The delicate game is over. Go. Because we know that we've got a Rekindler, so if one of these 2 dies, then it's absolutely fine.
Show me a target.
So if one of these 2 dies, then we can live with it. We are in the scary moment with what they're doing, but it's okay. So that's such an immediate Lissandra level up as well. What we could do here is we can use you to kill this and mean that. I mean, the thing of it is that the easiest way to do it would be to kill this one, and then that means that because even that it still doesn't work. Let's think to ourselves, what's the best plan here? Or do we just accept this? Because I mean, there's nothing that we've got in our hand right now that's going to be killing anything or that, so we just accept it. Mostly because I have to. I've got no way around this that makes any sense, so I'll leave it. We now see it in the hand. We now see it in the hand. The Watcher is there. The Watcher is watching. The Watcher is watching now. So we could actually just slay Ashe. Actually, that's what we should have done last turn. We should have just slayed Ashe. So what we could do here is slay Ashe, and then we've still got Frostbite mechanics, and also Rekindler brings back another Ashe. So that seems like that makes sense. That seems like that makes sense. Should have done that last turn. I would not be worrying right now if I'd already done that last turn. Can at least do that. Actually, we're not gonna. There's no point in us sacrificing in case they've got like some kind of buff in hand. I'd rather just wait. So we can throw down another Ashe. You're already dead, so we are just removing. So they might have a Watcher in hand, and the scary times are coming from that fact. But if we can just get another Ashe out right now, we've actually, you know what? We can get around this potentially. We dictate the state of play. By going forward, if they, so obviously, boom, they played that, which means they get a Watcher out on us. So we know that the fact that they've got the Watcher down to costing 0. But if we go forward,
As the arrow flies.
they can't defend. And then, so even though they have the Watcher, your Watcher is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. As we go, boom, 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 and now you can't defend. You gotta ask yourself the most important question. Can you defend me? And the answer is no. And so, boom, forcing that damage in. That's what I'm talking about. Your Watcher is meaningless. You better watch out. Oh my god, this is the Watcher. This is the Timelines deck, isn't it? It's actually been a while since I've been against the Timeline deck. This is interesting. I'm gonna get rid of one Kindred, keep this rest of the hand. Not the best, but I will accept what's going on here. What we want to be doing is we want to be finding essentially draw or slay mechanics right now. Draw or slay mechanics. Yeah, again, it doesn't really... Now, you at least mean that it doesn't matter if one of our champions dies because we know we can get them back. It's not the worst thing.
I pull the strings.
So throw down you. Obviously, we can't defend or do anything with that right now,
You
but
won't suffer long.
we can still keep this here. Next turn, we could go with the glimpse, just so that... But obviously, they are running a ton of removal, so the chances are they will most likely remove
A chill in the air.
a chill in the air. I mean, technically, what we should have done is we should have stopped this spider so that they would have been forced to go in with the Elise, but it's all good. So now that they've used their mana there, we use our mana here so that we make sure that we're getting a big boy out. Okay, so we've got some more draw and got some more glimpses. That's actually what we were looking for. If anything, that's what we were looking for. So they can still defend with a spider, that's fine. So next turn, I kind of want to save mana going into the Kindred move. Because we know that they're running Kindred as well. And obviously, they're running a ton of removal as well. So we kind of want to go into this turn with as much mana as possible. Because obviously, we could play Ashe, but then we're not doing anything else.
Skitter out from the
So yeah, we wouldn't play Ashe, but then we wouldn't be doing anything else. So what I'd rather do is I'd rather try to force out the Elise, that's fine. And then throw one of you out.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Throw one of my little sentrymen out. The idea is going to be Kindred, potentially into Glimpse. Kindred, potentially into Glimpse. Let's throw little Kindred out. Now obviously, there's so much removal my opponent could have, but we'll wait and see how this goes. I could have actually technically gone forward with Kindred, there was no reason not to. Just so that we're forcing another form of removal out of them. Still means that we get the Slay as well, which means that this will die. But we could have definitely gone forward with Kindred. There was literally no reason not to go forward with Kindred there, because Kindred does still have quick attack. So technically, we should have just gone forward with Kindred. It's okay, I can accept the mistakes that I've made.
Tell me a story, Lamb.
And now we wait. There we go, I was going to say, so there we go. So, forcing them to use more removal, and I'm willing to accept that. Because if they use more removal, so we've still got like 2 freezes. So thereby, I don't mind doing this. Because if they do something like... That's the one thing I can't stop right now. Okay. Might as well do this.
Bring me the calm of an ice.
And then we can throw that Ashe. Now, obviously, I said, like, you know, they've already got tons of removal, and there's not really much I can do about all their removal. We still throw that Ashe.
On one arrow.
Good throw down, this little man. But I guess we want to keep our freezes option open, depending on, obviously, what my opponent plays. Expect to see. There we go. Another removal. So, except
The tribes.
this moment in time, might as well get this out. Could actually even use this at this point, just because we want to be removing this, because obviously if they've got another one of these, or they've got Kindred and they want to use like slay mechanics, I'd rather be forcing it so that they've not got something immediate on the field of play which is going to help them out there. Obviously we've had both champions die, so we do actually have the ability of using Rekindler, which at this moment in time will bring back Kindred, because Kindred's got the better stats until she levels. Right, okay, there we go. So we've got
Ready, little lamb.
willing to accept. Oh no, crap! What? I thought a bit. Wait, isn't Kindred? Oh, because Kindred's a 4/4. No, I'm saying that. Don't worry. I'm talking bollocks. So we accept. I'm talking bollocks. Ignore the bollocks. But to be fair, we can just level Ashe immediately and just go forward with damage. Actually, you're gonna be leveling. You're gonna be leveling Ashe. So, and the fact that you've decided to go with things which are not gonna have any, like, so you get frozen, she levels, we go forward, that gets frozen, so you have no defense against the attack which is currently happening. So that's absolutely fine. Obviously, could be better, but I can live with this. Obviously, turn 9, they have not actually used timelines yet. So, we get them down to 3. Not that, like, I'd prefer to have them nearer death than this, but I can accept. But through because obviously they're trying to find timelines and they're trying to find Ledros right now. These are like the crucial things that they're trying to find. So, ooh, Yugi boy. That's fine. I still throw down another Frostbite on top of that. Obviously, it means that we're not getting as much damage in, but slowly but surely. And obviously, next turn when we go into their attack turn, I could technically use Ice Arrow if I wanted to, just to slow down, or we can even just wait. Actually, what am I doing? I mean, technically, I can just use the Troll Chant. I'd rather keep the Frostbite. I'd rather keep the ability of Frostbite. Okay, nothing I can do about that. Obviously, like, you know, it now means that you're gonna die, but I'm willing to accept your death. Willing to accept your death. So, let's see what my opponent's gonna do to this. There's the timeline. So they could have 9-cost Ledros in hand. Could happen. You're still going to be Frostbite in Kindred, so that's what I mean. So Kindred I don't mind about, because I know that you're going to be continuously Frostbitten at this moment in time. You've got more Frostbite options. Nothing I can do about that apart from play the other Ashe.
Without me.
So, still playing Ashe onto the field of play. So we accept you. Freeze again. They could have a what's his face, like complete bald wipe as well. So there's the do not find it. Do not find it. It's a 50. It's a like where the hell is this chance? They found it, didn't they? Of course they did. I've literally got no way of dealing with that. Yep. No, I can't. I sadly cannot change fate, but I can see. So yeah, well played. We're against the Egyptian gods, where it is not all 3 Egyptian gods, although all 3 Egyptian gods can get involved in the Emperor's deck if they get that far. But we're going to make sure that we beat the crap out of them before that happens. Okay, so we've got all the Frostbite stuff, which obviously is going to help us against Renekton's level up. But obviously, if they've got that 7 cost, we don't really have a way of dealing with that, because obviously we've not got Deny or anything that can stop the 7 cost thing from, like, you know, like leveling them both up if they're both on the field of play. We're going to try our best to not keep them both on the field of play, but we'll see how we go. Okay, here we go. Sun Disc. So we throw the Sentry out, obviously. So Sentry. I'm willing to accept an immediate trade into the Rock Hopper if they choose to do it. Okay, they decide not to. So we've got Kindred.
Shurima never fell.
There's the Azir.
My return.
Willing to obviously wait because I have to. So next turn Ashe. Obviously, but then Ashe would be Rolling Stoned. But I guess I'd rather Ashe gets Rolling Stoned than Kindred. And I mean, we can bring back Ashe with Rekindler anyway. So plus, like, we do have some like Frostbite stuff, and we could top deck more into some Frostbite stuff, which just means that we could still save Ashe's life if they tried to do trades. Okay, so not willing to go forward. That's what I mean. So we've got some Frostbite stuff, so even if Ashe starts to get like forced into trades, we can kind of like try to steer away from them.
Shurima, see what
Okay. I'm also got to thinking to myself, do I just try to remove... Let's just go with just trying to remove a Azir at this moment in time, because it's going to be helping Ashe with Frostbite stuff. She then Frostbites this guy. We don't attack forward with you because they'll just immediately get traded with the Sand Soldier, and so there's literally no point in doing that. But at least we can make it so that we're doing more Frostbites. I mean, that literally just saves his life. It literally just saves his life. Okay, we still got like Rekindler, so we can bring back Ashe's life anyway. But I'm not gonna lie, that was actually really clever play from my opponents. Lucky they had that spell in their hand. We still technically throw the sentry down as a blocker, just to try to stop like some damage from coming in. And we throw Kindred out, I feel, here. Or we can throw Ashe out and then go into Kindred next turn, because that way we get to keep a little bit more mana. Because then we can still use a flash freeze if needed. So, I'm gonna throw you down. Gives us the option for flash freeze. Attacking forward, you're gonna be frostbitten. Obviously, it depends on what my. So they play the Renekton. So now, Renekton gets frostbitten. Obviously, it depends on what they do, but we do have another freeze. Like if they try to do something smart, we have got another freeze. Bearing in mind, this trade means that we make Renekton, so he's gonna die because we froze him. The importances of this deck. We accept. We have to accept just because I know that I'm making him so that he's gonna die. So obviously, they still get to keep Azir, but we know that their Renekton is gonna be dying here. And we could potentially kill the Renekton later on down the line, so it's okay. Gonna go buffs, all the buffs on Azir. We could throw down Curse Keeper into Leech. No! No, don't leave me like this when we're about to get the Egyptian gods! This was just getting interesting! The deck was just starting to work so nicely. Okay, so we are against good old Fiora Shen. Now, admittedly, we have got a number of Frostbites. So, by doing Frostbites, we should be able to hopefully keep her at bay. That's what I'm going to tell myself. That's not who I needed to see. I would have, if I knew I was going to get you, I would have kept her ahead. But at least on the positive side, if Ashe dies, then we have got a way of getting her back. So, that's the positive side of that. So, what we can do here is we can go... Whoop.
A true Freljordian welcome.
A true Freljordian welcome. I'll accept one damage. I'll accept one damage. I could have technically frostbitten that, but we want to save our frostbites for what's her face? We want to save our frostbites for Fiora. That's the words. Words will eventually come. Play Fiora. Go on, you know you want to. Go on, play Fiora. Of course you don't play Fiora. Coward. Okay.
Arrows at the ready.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, the one move that, like, really counters this is Sharp Sight.
Not the egg.
Like, the one move that would really counter that would be Sharp Sight. I'm so glad that we did not see Sharp Sight, because obviously I wouldn't be able to then Brittle Steel. Ah! So that is Fiora! Okay. Okay. So...
You swim within the flows of magic.
I could tell to throw that Ashe. I still do have the ability of using Brittle Steel. At the moment. Yes, that's what I thought. So, true Freljordian welcome. True Freljordian welcome. We're gonna try and do this in a number of different ways. Because obviously we've still got this. Obviously they're gonna throw a shield on top of her. Like obviously they're going to throw a shield on her. That makes the most sense. They throw a shield on her. There could be additional buffs that are so that's what I mean. So they throw that. So the thing is, I can't remember how the interaction works, whether or not it counts as going through the barrier or not. I don't think it does. Because it's like you're striking. Oh my god, it still works! You're still technically striking, even though they've got barrier. It counts because of the fact that obviously it's still striking that unit, removing the barrier, but it's got 0, and obviously minions thing is that if you strike somebody with 0, it instantly kills them. So, man, it's such that. I mean, that was perfect counterplay to that deck. So that is the Frostmark deck. I definitely think like it needs a few alterations and whatnot here and there, but actually has got the potential of being quite powerful in some ways. But obviously, as I said, this was a viewer deck who like posted this in the Discord, so honestly, thank you to you again. Just like, honestly, anyone who comes up with ideas, just don't be afraid to post them or in either the comments down below or in the Discord, because I do look at them, and if there's an idea that really piques and I really want to give it a go, I will definitely do so. Like this, I said, it wasn't exactly their deck, I did make changes, but that's not saying that the changes I made were right. You could go back and actually check out their deck, and their deck might actually be superior to mine. And obviously, that's the whole thing, right? You build decks how you like them and like the certain different things that you like in that thing. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. Bear in mind that obviously you can catch me on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So link down below, as well as link to the aforementioned Discord if you want to get into the lovely community that we're building. But thank you all. I said the amount of like support that Shao gets, honestly, yet again, thank you so much. Hope that, as I already said earlier, that you have a good afternoon, evening, whatever. Honestly, thank you. And until next time, bye.
Flash of brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.